Well, that manhunt, of course, captured the eyes of the nation. It also left a lot of questions about how this situation would be handled locally and the response. How do officers train to respond to those situations? Joining us live in the studio today, Captain Mac Marsh from the Columbia SWAT Department. And Captain Marsh, when you look at the SWAT team in your unit here, I know that you all saw this play out there. Is it possible to really, I know that you train for situations like this, but every situation is different, isn't it? It
is, and a lot of it depends on the suspect, to be quite honest with you, in which direction they want that particular situation to go. We train on a regular basis for all types of scenarios. We often talk to other SWAT teams throughout the state and throughout the country and look at the type of incidents that they have been dealing with lately and recently, and we try to engineer our training and scenarios to kind of mimic those things. But there again, no incident is quite the same.
Well, and I know in every situation there's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking. The situation in Alabama where that little boy was held for nearly a week, and people kept saying, why doesn't the SWAT team just move in and take this guy out and save that little boy? But there's so many factors that are unpredictable, and it really comes down to negotiations, right?
It does, and every SWAT team out here would love to see a ending that comes that everybody's happy and everybody walks away and everybody's safe. That's what we try to do as a SWAT team, and most SWAT teams do. In fact, more than none actually do. And we are a life-saving unit. That's the way we view it, and our intentions are to save all lives, to include the suspect's life.
And when you look at a situation like we saw play out in California, an officer was killed as this manhunt ensued. An officer who was shot yesterday ended up dying. We heard someone talk earlier that when you hear those words, officer down, how do you process those emotions while you're still actively trying to resolve this tense situation?
That is the worst thing we can actually hear come across the radio, is that one of our fellow officers are down. And it does affect us. But we turn on that light switch, so to say, and our tactics take over, and our training is what gets us through those type situations. And it does bother us. Anybody that would sit here and tell you it doesn't, I don't think would actually be talking correctly. But we do take that into account, and we try to suppress those emotions. The guys and ladies that actually do this for a living, the SWAT operators, we train and we pick those individuals for that reason, to be able to handle stuff like that professionally.
Yeah, the mental component to that as well. Well, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate the insight that you gave us today.